Good morning, still officially, and welcome to the Manatee Chamber's February Headliners Luncheon. And it is an exciting time in Bradenton and Manatee County as we welcome spring training and the Pittsburgh Pirates to our community. When I say that, I mean the players, because you all know that the team has a 365-day a year, 24/7 presence and involvement in our community. So with that, our first order of business, I ask that you please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you so much. You may be seated, and as you do so, if you don't mind silencing those mobile devices, we would appreciate that. We do have a number of elected officials who have joined us for today's Headliners Luncheon, welcoming Travis Williams, the president of the Pittsburgh Pirates. So please allow me to recognize them if you'll hold your applause until the end. Representing the Manatee County Commission and Port Authority, we have Commissioner Mike Ron with us today. From the city of Bradenton, Mayor Jean Brown, Vice Mayor Josh Kramer, Councilwoman Marianne Barnaby, Councilwoman Pam Coachman, Councilwoman Lisa Gonzalez-Moore, and Councilwoman Jane Coker. And from U.S. Congressman Vern Buchanan's office, we have Edward Valdez. So please show your appreciation. As we do at every Headliners Luncheon, we recognize those companies that step forward with important annual sponsorships to make this type of programming for the Chamber and our membership possible. Those logos are on your tables, but please allow me to recognize them from the podium today as well. Thank you so much to our annual Headliner sponsors, Career Source Suncoast, Florida Power and Light, Manatee Health, the Mosaic Company, the Realtors Association of Sarasota and Manatee, and Cheryl Wealth Management. And thank you also to our platinum investors. That you all are regular attendees know that platinum investors in the Chamber contribute significantly, invest significantly beyond their annual dues to support the Manatee Chamber and our program of work. And those platinum investors are Brown & Sons Funeral Home and Crematory, Carr, Riggs & Ingram, the City of Bradenton, Freedom Village of Bradenton, IMG Academy, Manatee County Government, Manatee Health, MCR Health, the Mosaic Company, NDC Commercial Real Estate, NDC Construction Company, the Pittsburgh Pirates and Bradenton Marauders, Raymond James Wealth Management, Bruce Brody, the Sarasota Bradenton International Airport, Seaport Manatee, and South State Bank. So please share some recognition for those investors as well. How many of you joined us last evening at Lecom Park for the Business After Hours with the Pittsburgh Pirates? Could that have been a more fabulous evening? Can we show appreciation to Jeff and Craig and the Florida-based Pirate staff for that? I mean, it was truly Chamber of Commerce weather. Many of you that stayed until the very end when the lights on the field came on as dusk was approaching, the sky was lit up. I mean, they were picture-perfect pictures, not to mention the incredible generosity of Craig and Jeff and the team in their hospitality and in the number of door prizes. So my guess is 90% of you who were there last night and just raised your hand also went home with a door prize because of how amazing that was. So thank you. And then here they are again today, committing to another opportunity to partner with and address the business community. And for those of you who don't follow baseball like some of us do, did you know that today is the first workout for the Major League team at Pirate City? And where is Travis Williams? He is here with the business community. That is remarkable. And may have been an oopsie on scheduling. I'm convinced of it. He would never admit it, but I'm sure he's like, what in the world is that? So, but in all seriousness, baseball and Bradenton go together like peanuts and Cracker Jacks. And today we are excited and so honored to have the president of the Pittsburgh Pirates, Travis Williams, with us today. A few fun facts for those of you that may not know some of these items. Baseball has been played at historic Lecom Park since 1923. The baseball park has been named one of the best and truly the best in the United States, hosting minor league baseball multiple times. And it is the third oldest park that currently hosts Major League Baseball in the country. As Jeff likes to have trivia, what are the two others? What are the two others? We're third. And Wrigley, that's right. So Bradenton has been the Pirates' spring training home for the last 56 years, since 1969. And the Pittsburgh Pirates actually joined the Manatee Chamber of Commerce before they even fielded a team in Bradenton. They joined in 1968, and it was an early signal of the significant commitment and investment that the Pirates organization would make in our community, not just on the field, but as importantly for many of us, off the field as well. Another fun fact, on December 9th, 1920, in an attempt to stimulate the local economy, the Manatee County Board of Trade, now known as the Manatee Chamber of Commerce, voted to prioritize bringing baseball here. And obviously it worked. More than 100 years later, the annual economic impact of baseball through the Pittsburgh Pirates and Bradenton Marauders exceeds $40 million annually for our local economy. In addition to the significant economic impact, the Pirates and their employees, as well as the Marauders, are known for their strong community leadership, supporting many nonprofit and civic organizations. As I said, the Pirates and Bradenton Marauders are platinum investors in the Chamber. A couple of leadership opportunities that the Pirates have committed to over the years. Jeff Podobnik, many of you know, is a recent past chair of the Manatee Chamber, the Pirates Vice President of Florida and Dominican Operations. And Craig Warjeka, the General Manager of the Bradenton Marauders, is a recent past chair of our Manatee Young Professionals Program, which has just soared with his leadership and those who have followed. Ray Morris, who isn't here today, he's there with that workout back at Pirate City, is currently serving on the Chamber's Board of Directors. So we're going to take just a few moments and allow you to enjoy getting started with your lunch and a little bit of networking time. And when we come back to the podium, it will not be me, which I just now am realizing on the fly, I never introduced myself. I know 90% of you. I'm Jackie Dzelski, President and CEO of the Manatee Chamber, so check that box. But when we return to the podium, you will be greeted by your 2024 Chamber Chair of the Board, Stu Henderson, with Folly Bryant Architecture, and he will have the official duty of introducing Travis Williams to you. So please take a few moments, get your lunches started, and we will be back at the podium in a few minutes.
So just briefly, again, my name is Stu Henderson, Chairman of the Board for the Manatee Chamber. Wonderful to see everyone here today. I appreciate you all networking and enjoying each other. I am honored to introduce Travis Williams, but before I do, I just have kind of a quick self-indulgent personal note. Folly Bryant Architecture has been connected with the Pirates for 30 years. It was one of our first projects in Bradenton, was getting together to work on the Pirates. So the Pirates, Folly Bryant, and NDC have been tethered together in this wonderful relationship for a very long time. They're great partners of ours, but also in the community. Jeff's past chairman of the board role, he was incredible, and I learned an awful lot about him. If you notice his new name tag now, he's been demoted to third row, so check that out and ask him about that. And personally, in 2020, in the throes of COVID, my son's graduating class did not look like it was going to be able to walk for school. Jeff called me up and said, what can we do to kind of get a bunch of people safely into Lecom Park? And we sort of figured that out together. And I know you ran a bunch of graduations through there. So we are grateful for giving Max somewhat of a normal and extraordinary experience when he graduated. And then this past year, my son Leo interned with Jeff and his team and learned a ton. He's now at the University of Cincinnati doing sports management and is really well on his way to following Jeff's shoes. So I just wanted to say that very quickly and thank you for your long-term partnership. So today I have the privilege of introducing Travis Williams. Travis began his role as president for the Pirates in November of 2019. In his role, he is responsible for baseball and baseball operations in the organization. He's keenly focused on the club's vision for the future, its connection to fans, and its commitment to the community. Travis has prioritized fan-oriented business approach, including enhancing the Pirates' front office leadership team with key leaders who have vast experience in fan engagement and the customer experience. Prior to joining the Pirates, Travis spent more than a decade with the Pittsburgh Penguins as Chief Operating Officer. A graduate of Penn State University and Duquesne University Law School, summa cum laude, Travis started his career as an attorney, where he represented several sports franchises, including the Pirates. Now, please give me a warm Manatee Chamber of Commerce and Business community welcome to the Pirates President, Travis Williams.
So thank you, Jackie, for the earlier introduction, and thank you, Stu. Appreciate the warm welcome from everybody, the warm round of applause. And Jackie, it's okay that I'm actually not there today because, frankly, I think if I was out there trying to get in the middle of pitching and catching, we'd be in a lot of trouble. There's a lot of other people who are much more skilled at that than I am that are there today. We're going to start today because I always believe that you have to have a good introduction, and whether it's a fun joke, and I don't have very many good jokes, or a fun video. So I asked our folks to put together a little reel here to get us all in the mood of spring training. So with that, if we can get it running, that'd be great.
From the steel mills of Pittsburgh to the sun-drenched shores of Florida, the spirit of baseball marches on. Good evening, sports fans. This is your trusted voice of the Diamond, bringing you the latest from the home of spring training, where the future of the Pittsburgh Pirates takes shape. Since 1969, the city of Bradenton, Florida, has been the warm weather home for our beloved Buccos, a place where talent is forged under the southern sun. Young hopefuls don the black and gold, honing their skills, sharpening their bats, and preparing to join the ranks of Pittsburgh's finest. Yes, friends, this is where legends begin their journey, where grit and determination are tested, and where young bucks train to be pirates. The camaraderie between Bradenton and the Pirates runs deep. A bond built on baseball, sunshine, and a shared love for America's pastime. As another season approaches, the Buccaneers of the Diamond stand ready, hardened by the Florida heat, fueled by the dreams of Pittsburgh faithful, and destined for glory. So keep your radios tuned and your spirits high, because baseball is alive and well. And as we like to say, it all begins in Bradenton.
Well, it feels great to be back in front of all of you today. I think it's been a couple years since I was here. I think Ben did it last year. But it also feels great to have baseball back on the field at Pirate City and very soon at Lecom Park. I don't want to duplicate Jackie's remarks in introducing all of the elected officials and others that are here today. But I did want to acknowledge one thing. Jackie and I were talking about the fact that you're the largest chamber of commerce in the Tampa Bay area, correct? I have that correct? 2,200 members, you said? That's absolutely terrific. And we were talking about the reason for the success and many different things in terms of the culture that has been built by the Chamber of Commerce, but also talked about the working relationship between the elected officials and the Chamber of Commerce, and obviously the constituents at the end of the day, which are these businesses in this region. And I noted just my own perspective and perception is that there is a working relationship among all three of those components that is unparalleled in any other community that I've seen. So congratulations to all of you for the bond and the relationships that you've built and are able to get so much done, obviously in the face of a lot of different things as well. But on behalf of Bob Nutting and myself and the entire organization, we can't thank you enough for the partnership and the friendship that we have with this community. All of you, and many, many more over the years, have been great partners and friends to the Pirates organization. You're the ones that make the city of Bradenton and Manatee County so special. You're the ones that make us love to come back here every year and be a part of this community. Especially my wife, who loves to support your local businesses, while I'm out working at Pirate City every day. As the mayor knows, I send him lots of pictures of her shopping in many of your different businesses. In all seriousness, you're the ones who have built this community to be what it is today, and that should be a tremendous source of pride for all of you. We know that your jobs have been especially difficult over the past year with Hurricanes Helene and Milton. Jeff shared pictures of the devastation with me not long after it all happened, not only just of Pirate City and Lecom, but of many of the areas around the region. And I saw the remains of it when I was here visiting in January. And I know it'll take years to repair all of it in full, but as I look around today, it is clear to me that Bradenton is back. And the city of Bradenton and Manatee County are back up and running and ready for spring training. And you should be applauded for your efforts, and we thank you to get it all ready. Thank you very much. During our weekly executive meetings during the off-season, Jeff loves to provide a weather forecast from Pirate City for our less fortunate and much colder colleagues like myself in Pittsburgh. He loves to show off that he's in, floral short-sleeve shirts, as you know Jeff wears, and we're sitting there in our winter coats and parkas inside of our offices in Pittsburgh. And especially with the temperatures reaching single digits in Pittsburgh this week and next, I can tell you that I greatly appreciate the fact that Jackie asked me to come and speak today as those temperatures are diving. But more than weather, I love being here because it means baseball season is right around the corner. Pitchers and catchers are officially on the field today, with the full squad set to take the field on Monday. I think this season we are poised to surprise a lot of our critics. With the disappointment at the way last season ended, it is easy to overlook some important signs that we are a lot closer than most people think. The path to success is never a straight line. Our own history from 2011 to 2015 tells us that is the case. The signs are there. We're the third youngest team in the National League, so there naturally is going to be some growing pains. We played the second most one-run games in the National League last year, and if we had won just 1/3 of those, we would have been a wild card team. We had a winning record after the All-Star break and in the postseason race at the trading deadline for the first time in 5 years. We put ourselves in a position to add at the trade deadline and make a run for the postseason. We did, but as we know, unfortunately, we failed to finish the season. We had a 2-week bad span in August that we couldn't overcome. In the end, I believe this is actually going to be a valuable lesson for that young team. We need to find a way to win those games, and we need to avoid those 2-week spans. And I know that this group is going to be able to do that. Starting pitching is the key to success with any team, and often the most difficult and expensive part of the team to assemble. There's a lot of risk with injuries, and you got a lot of your payroll tied up in that group. But we have one of the best young staffs in the Major League Baseball. Our rotation took a tremendous stride forward last season, posting the most wins, innings pitched, strikeouts, lowest ERA, and fewest walks for a season in any of the recent years. Paul Skeens, the reigning Rookie of the Year, I think you can all attest he's pretty phenomenal, is the most exciting pitcher in all of Major League Baseball and will be the anchor to our staff. Mitch Keller, who we signed to a long-term deal going into last spring training, if you remember the announcement, emerged as a veteran leader in our starting rotation and once again posted double-digit wins. And Jared Jones, who started the season with us as a rookie, selected in the second round of the 2020 draft, displayed the ability to be a Major League starter at the top of a rotation. These three, who Jeff reminded me, all three started here in Bradenton, along with Bailey Falter, Johan Johan Oviedo, and several others in our farm system that are ready to rise in the major leagues, many of whom you probably have seen at one point or another playing for the Bradenton Marauders. They provide us with the robust depth in the starting pitching category that we have more robust depth than we've had in recent years in the pitching category. We also have a strong core of young players. Brian Reynolds, Mr. Dependable. He's been our leader on the field and a consistent offensive performer and all-star. We've signed him to another long-term deal that we announced 2 years ago going into spring training. Brian Hayes, who we signed to a long-term deal the prior year, also coming back off of an injury-riddled season last year, getting back to his Gold Glove level of play that he had in the prior year. O'Neal Cruz, he set new career highs in every offensive category as he completed his first full season. Most people think O'Neal's been around a long time, but with his injury in his first year, he's actually had his first full season last year. He became the first Pirate since Starling Marte to hit at least 20 home runs and steal at least 20 bases. Nick Gonzalez, another one who you saw at one point here in Bradenton, became a steady offensive performer and run producer in his first extended stay in the major leagues last year. His defense in the middle of the infield also has improved significantly over last year. And Joey Bart, who we picked up from the Giants on the waiver wire, emerged as a stable presence behind the plate and is posting his career high in every offensive category for him and having the best season for a catcher offensively since Russell Martin in 2014. And at the trade deadline, I mentioned that we acquired a few players, one of which was we call him IKF because it's hard for everybody to pronounce his name, but Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, who was acquired at the trade deadline from the Blue Jays. He demonstrates the energy, baseball acumen, and leadership that this young team is going to need to become that playoff team that we expect this year. We're also working hard to improve the bullpen, which is often the most volatile of any of the areas of a lineup that you have to put together. And last year we saw that with injuries to David Bednar and Colin Holderman, both of whom are back this year and look healthy as ever as they go into spring training. And we've also added some veteran presence over the offseason. You may remember Adam Frazier, a fan favorite from a few years ago. Adam is back. And also we've added Tommy Pham, who's been with several other major league teams who've gone on to play in the postseason. Both of these gentlemen are going to have a positive impact on the clubhouse culture and, as I said, help us find a way to win those one-run games. Being around this group at Pirate Fest in Pittsburgh last month, the energy is high, and so is our players' belief in this team and their expectations for themselves. They know what this group has, they know that this group has what it takes to win. They just need to execute. And they have been working hard in the offseason to be prepared to come to spring training and start that journey. As we always say, and as we said in the video, it all begins right here in Bradenton. For more than 55 years now, the Pirates have been proud to call Bradenton home for our spring training. We believe that our relationship truly is the gold standard across the league, and it goes well beyond the games on the field. I'm proud to say that our relationship with the city of Bradenton and Manatee County has only continued to strengthen. Thanks in large part to you, Mayor, and so many others throughout the year. This is not just our spring training home. This truly is our year-round Southern home. As the sport of baseball has evolved, so has our presence in Bradenton to a year-round commitment. I also know that our owner, Bob Nutting, feels strongly about this commitment and has throughout the years. The transformation of Pirate City continues. From an old motel-style facility to a true state-of-the-art baseball complex. Multiple fields, dorm rooms, clubhouses, batting cages, a nutrition center, development labs, technology improvements, and more. And it will continue to evolve as baseball evolves. We're already seeing it today. Pirate City is truly our hub for all of our player development on a year-round basis. No matter where a player enters our system, that player's core development will trace back to Pirate City and Bradenton in some way. Next week, we're excited to show off the continued improvements at LECOM as well. Thanks to the shared commitment from the city of Bradenton and Manatee County, we're getting set to unveil our newly renovated visiting clubhouse that was required by minor league baseball. While not fan-facing, the team infrastructure is critical to the ballpark. In this case, we have renovated to include modern-day amenities, complete with separate female coaches and staff locker rooms. Just one of the many elements of that ballpark that has transformed over the years and kept up with baseball as we see more women in the coaching ranks and development ranks. as Lecom Park is a symbol of our mutual commitment to making sure the Pirates are a part of this community. The oldest park in the Grapefruit League, as Jackie said, third oldest in all of baseball, is also the best park, and that's not by accident. That is through the shared commitment and vision by so many people in this room. Thanks to that commitment, the Pirates can continue to be a major economic driver for the city of Bradenton and Manatee County. When I come here, Bradenton often feels like Pittsburgh South. My favorite times throughout spring training are when I get a chance to talk to the fans that are gathered around the Cloverleaf watching the early workouts of the team. And you hear so many wonderful stories of fans who have made the move from Pittsburgh to Bradenton year-round, or they schedule their family vacations around spring training. Over the years, we've been able to partner with my longtime friend, Elliot Falcione, and promote Bradenton to our fans. It is amazing to me how many people plan their lives around Pirates baseball and the city of Bradenton. I also love to see our players doing the same. I know that we have 2 new residents this year, and Jared Jones and Paul Skeens, who joined a long list of players and coaches who have purchased homes in the area because they want to be close to Pirate City and the development opportunity year-round. Of course, we love the support that we also get from the businesses in this region, and we're inspired by all of your outpouring of support that you give to the people in this region. We also love to give back to this community ourselves and have done so throughout the years. We continue our strong support of area education, including our Adopt a School program through our support of the Education Foundation. We're proud of our support of the Boys and Girls Club as well on an annual basis to give those kids more opportunities for healthy activities day in and day out. And of course, Pirates Charities and Bob Nutting continue to support the Miracle League of Minnesota as well. The Miracle League programs in general are a cause that Pirates Charity and Bob in particular have championed throughout the years, and here in Pittsburgh and here in Bradenton as well. The Miracle League of Minnesota is important to him, not just from the standpoint of offering financial support, recently contributing to replace the turf field that was originally installed there, but also making sure that we're helping to support the programming that is happening at these fields. Hosting a clinic next week with all of our coaches and all of our players, along with Bob, in order to be able to provide those athletes with a fun experience that other kids get the chance to enjoy more often. Finally, I think it's worth mentioning Bob's and the Pirates' support of the efforts of Ernie Withers. I think Ernie's here. He's wearing his Pirates gear. He looks like he's ready to be an usher tomorrow. That's obviously a connection to this group as well. As some of you probably recall, Ernie had a heart attack on the backfields at Pirate City while shagging fly balls in the outfield with some of his colleagues from the Chamber of Commerce event. And with the quick work of our medical team led by Dr. DeMeo, Ernie survived and has committed to giving back to the community by donating AEDs to police and fire departments in the region. To date, Ernie has donated, and I have to update my numbers. He told me right before this. I thought it was over 125. He told me it's over 170 AEDs that have been donated since his heart attack in February of 2023. Bob, who was on the field that day and also rushed to Ernie's attention, has developed a relationship with Ernie as well as our organization and proudly supports his efforts to continue to provide those AEDs to the police and fire departments. Amazing, amazing work. Thank you. You can also see our impact in sometimes less obvious ways, although I don't know if using Jeff in less obvious is, as I was thinking about that, I probably shouldn't have written that way. Just teasing you, Jeff. I have to give you a shot every once in a while. Our Bradenton Operations Leadership Group is actively engaged with you and this community, as you know. And Jeff Podobnik, our VP of Florida Operations, Craig Rorzeka, our General Manager for the Marauders, and Ray Morris, who isn't here, our Director of Florida Operations. They're always leading the way for us in the city of Bradenton and Manatee County. I'm very proud of them and want to thank them for all the efforts on behalf of the organization and also your personal commitments to what you do down here. So thank you very much. And again, I just want to thank you for inviting me here today. Really enjoyed being able to come back and spend time with you. It's great to see so many familiar faces. Linda McGarvey is here, who's one of our volunteers. I see her every year. I know she's been battling some health issues, and it's good to see her healthy and here. And we look forward to seeing you out there volunteering at the ballpark as well. So thank you for being here, Linda. But it's an honor to be back in the city of Bradenton and Manatee County and be a part of this great business community. The Pirates truly, truly appreciate the warm welcome that we get. And we're looking forward to the next 50 plus years. I hope to see you at the block party on Old Main Street on Saturday night. Hopefully it does not pour on us this year. Jeff's in charge of the weather, so hopefully he'll wear his floral shirt and we'll be good. And I look forward to seeing all of you at LECOM this spring. Please stop and say hello. I love, as they said in the intro, the fan experience is the most important to me. I really, truly do believe that that is what we're here for. We're here to provide you with a fun time, a fun experience, win or loss on the field. We obviously want to win games. We're all competitive. We're doing that and trying that every day, but we also want to make sure that it's a fun fan experience as well. So if you have any thoughts or ideas as how we can improve Pirate City and the experience there for you or your businesses or at LECOM, please let me know. I'm happy to tell Jeff what to do. Let's go Bucks.
So Travis has generously offered to spend some time answering questions. So we have a mic set up over here to my right, most of your left, if you all wouldn't mind lining up, and I'll give first honors to the mayor. So, Mayor?
Well, thank you, and Travis, and obviously your entire team. And the Pirates go back way before any of us in this room. So we want to thank all of our forefathers and mothers that, more now with our women on the council, and it was important. But we just want I just want to thank you guys for obviously putting into a lot with the city of Bradenton. We got a great city council, administration. Manatee County has bought in more than they've been in the past, and the business world. So we just wanted to say thank you for the commitment. I know we've had some exciting meetings over the last couple of years trying to get the right thing and what's going to happen at LECOM and City Park and what's going to transform that neighborhood into being a vision that will make the Pirates not only a better spring training home, but a year-round facility. So we just want to thank you for being part of that. And also, I say it every year at the block party, but World Series would make a lot of things a lot easier in Bradenton. So,
You think they'd make it easier for you? Oh boy, you weren't at Pirate Fest last month. I just want to make one comment. I think that related to that, yes, a lot of exciting things. Typically, that comes with the relationships that you have, and I talked about that a little earlier about the relationship between the business community and the elected officials, and I also the Pirates as well. And I do think that great things come out of those relationships. And the other part of that too is it's that we versus me, right? And I just get the sense that in this community, there's a real we. It's like we're trying to get better. We're striving for something greater than all of us individually can accomplish. And we understand that we have to come together to do that. And it's not just about me and what I'm trying to do myself. So hopefully you feel that from our leadership group here in the Pirates, that we realize this is something much bigger and greater than just the Pirates. Obviously, spring training is important to us in terms of the development of what we're trying to do and accomplish our goal. But we want to make sure that that works within what the framework of what the city of Bradenton and Manatee County are looking at as well. So to the extent we can be a part of that, we're all in. So thank you.
Mr. Williams, great to
Yes.
see you again. James Hill with ABC7. Just talk a little bit about this community and the Pirates. And again, since '69, this is a big deal. And it's like the perfect fit of a hand going in a glove.
Yeah, I mean, I think that just the longevity itself really speaks to how great the relationship is, and the fact that we've, what I love about it too is we've respected history together. Many still call it McKechnie Field. It's LECOM Park. I have to say that for the sponsors. They do pay us a lot of money to make sure that we call it LECOM Park. But I think that we still are respecting the history of what baseball meant. I mean, there's the greats that have played well before this team, right? The Roberto Clementes, the Willie Stargels, the Bill Mazeroskis who came to camp at Pirate City and lived there in the dorm units and practiced there and won world championships Mayor, you're rightfully so pointing that out, won world championships after having trained there and started here. And I think the fact that that started in that way, and there's such a history between the city and the bond and the players and the organization, I think the fact that we have all continued to respect what our forefathers built, whether it's on the field or off the field, and we've continued to build on that. And if we can continue to have that commitment to build on that, I think that's really where the special stuff happens, both on the field and off the field. And so that's how I kind of think of or look at the relationship between the city of Bradenton, Manatee County, and the Pirates.
Oh, wait, I got one more.
They wanted to get you on camera.
I was wondering what matchups in the NL Central you're looking most forward to this year, particular series or teams.
I think that, the interesting part is I think the AL West and the NL Central are probably two of the tightest divisions in all of baseball this year, where it really, I think, is a bit of a coin flip, and it depends on who has players who outperform their expected performance. I know that sounds simple. I'm probably trying to oversimplify it, but that's really, I think, if we outperform projections, which we believe going in every day, we're going to make players better so they outperform the expectations, the average performance. We have a real opportunity in the NL Central because it's tighter than it's ever been. There's a lot of people that sit in their offices and spit out a lot of data that tells me that. And but looking at all the divisions, the NL Central is really tight. I think the one that is always fun is just because I grew up a Cincinnati Reds fan as a kid, having lived in the state of Indiana, we didn't have a Major League Baseball team. And if you're on the eastern side of the state, you were a Reds fan. If you were on the northwestern side, you were a Cubs fan. So I wasn't a Cubs fan. I was a Big Red Machine growing up in the 70s. So for me, I like playing them, and I actually like, I love beating my childhood favorite team. So, and I think they have a really, they're kind of in the similar position to us. Young pitching staff, really some great young core offensive players, Ellie De La Cruz and others. And I think it's fun to maybe build a little bit of a rivalry between those. And then I think outside of NL Central, we just like beating Philly. Anytime we can beat Philadelphia is a good day. And so last year we had their number. Hopefully we get it again this year as well. But that's always a fun weekend at the ballpark too.
All right, Travis, you guys have had some negotiations are a big part of the offseason, right? But no negotiation was probably more public this offseason than your negotiations with, I think, a 13-year-old boy in California for a Paul Skeens card. Have we countered his decline on this? Do we get Livy to make the phone call, like personally? Like, where are we at with the card?
Yeah, that was one of the most interesting and fun parts of the offseason. It really was coming together with Topps on that offer, because they let us know that the 1-for-1 was out there. And so we jumped in with kind of a bounty for it, knowing that it likely would go to auction. But we wanted to have a lot of fun with it, because it would be great if it was actually a Pirates fan who, a local Pirates fan who got it, and they took us up on our offer, because the offer was really cool. If you're a Pirates fan and you live in Pittsburgh, like lifetime tickets, playing softball on the, get to play a softball game on the field, you get to sit in a suite, you get to meet Paul. Like that's a pretty cool deal. But a young kid, no matter how much of a baseball fan he is, I don't think a 13-year-old kid in California is going to be flying back and forth to Pirates games for the next 30 years. He's probably going to sell the card and pay for his college tuition. What I thought was really neat too is beyond what our offer was, and we have worked, because they want to be very private. They obviously don't want the kid's identity out there, especially with how much money he's going to come into here very soon. They don't want it out there and make it public, but we are trying to still honor the component of him getting a chance to meet Paul Skeens, which I think would be a really cool opportunity, whether that's when we're out in California or whether that's maybe having him come in and sit in Bob's suite and then get a chance to meet Paul either before or after the game. I think would be kind of a cool experience. Maybe he even would rather meet Livy. I don't know, but I think it would. I think it. Yeah, I think it's a pretty cool offer. What I love too is I thought it was really, really commendable of Topps to donate their portion of the auction proceeds to the wildfire or to the relief efforts with the wildfires in California, since that's where the young gentleman is from. And I think, from what I understand, the family's also going to make some donation as well. So I thought the way that all came together was great. It was neat that I also think it was really neat that a young, true card collector, a kid, wasn't just a collector that owns a store somewhere and he was going to go auction it off and make a lot of money for himself. It was a young kid who was a real baseball fan who was super excited, and he documented it in his journal after the fact. I thought it was all kind of storybook, if you will. Well, thank you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Travis, and for bringing along, key players on your administrative team here as well, knowing that, they're already almost 3 hours into pitchers and catchers. So appreciate it. At your seats, you'll notice you have the spring training schedule, so I please encourage you to take that with you. If you already have it memorized, then share it with someone at the office. Travis mentioned the block party on Saturday, downtown Bradenton on Old Main Street from 6 to 9. I hope you all will consider joining us in a great celebration, and we have ordered up Chamber of Commerce weather for you. So a couple of closing announcements. Thank you once again to our sponsors for our Headliner series that make this type of programming possible. Thanks, of course, to Chris Dolan and the incredible team at METV, who, as any of you attending community events knows, they are here and everywhere, particularly supporting nonprofits in their programming. So thank you so much, Chris and the team. A couple of notes for some upcoming chamber programming that may be of interest to you. Our next Headliners Luncheon next month on March 12th will be a 30-year look back at the history, the state of the ranch, Lakewood Ranch, and a look forward to the next 30 years of the fastest growing area in Manatee County and what's on the radar. So I hope you'll join us March 12th to hear from Laura Cole on the state of the ranch. And then in April, we will welcome the Vice President of Talent for First Watch Restaurants. So many of you may know that is one of what they believe are their competitive advantages and differentiators is the culture that First Watch builds for its team. So if you would like a little bit of insight and glean what you can take back for your own organization, I hope you'll make plans now to join us in April for our headliners. A couple other items coming up on February 26th, we will host our annual Pancakes and Politics event, which is the opportunity that the Chamber takes to bring the men and women who represent us in Tallahassee to a Chamber breakfast so that you all can hear about the upcoming legislative session for Florida that kicks off the first week in March. We are prepared. We're taking a group of Chamber leaders to Tallahassee next week to present our priorities for our legislators in Tallahassee. And so that opportunity at Pancakes and Politics will be for us to get again, kind of that glimpse as to what they anticipate in our 60-day marathon session here in the state of Florida, and also hear from you all about your priorities and encouragement for them when it comes to policy development. And then on February 28th, it is Manatee Chamber of Commerce Day at Lecom Park. So I hope you will prioritize attending that spring training game. It's a Friday, and we play the Rays. So could it be more perfect that the Pirates dedicated that day to Manatee Chamber Day? You may see a familiar face throwing out a first pitch as well. So get to the game before the first pitch so you can see the ceremonial first pitch. That's all that I will say on that. So with that, I bid you farewell for the afternoon. Thank you so much for joining us. Have a great day.